I think there's still not yet enough data in on the characteristics of those customers to really kind of understand, what it is that drew them to using it. I think, prior to the launch of the pilot, some of the characteristics and attributes would be, people that are interested in the social aspects, corporate responsibility, and so I think the data is still yet to come in on that success story.
I know. Next question. Tell me about, as an industry, what are the statistics on carpooling and success and failures? Why or why not is carpooling adopted?
Well, I think the statistics are not very good as far as acceptance to date. I mean, even some of the more successful carpooling services might have less than single-digit participation rates.
So why is carpooling not successful?
I think the biggest impediment right now is the flexibility. People's interest in having their own freedom. Not really the message not really resonating with them about being able to offset their carbon footprint. Not really being aware of some of the mega trends that we see around us: urbanization, cities getting more congested, traffic jams. Mega cities with 10 billion or more people. So it's not something that people are observing, on an everyday basis, even though it's out there, it's prevalent.
Just as a comment, you're a carpool company. You should know the industry data, right? It's statistically down to percentage points. What's wrong with the industry? Just so you can talk about some expertise, because you're trying to change it, right? You're trying to deliver a solution that finally fixes what has never worked really well. And I think it's great. Really involved in that to try to improve it. Just in the future, make sure you really evolve the data on the industry vendors.
Okay.
Quick comment from my side and a question. So a very intriguing opportunity here. So as a potential investor, it has my interest. And I think when you're doing a very short pitch like this where you can't get deep into the data, the goal is really to get another meeting or to get the next step and not have the investor just walk away. And I think the most compelling thing for me that would keep me engaged was the pilot program and the early revenue potential that you have. I would personally be willing to sign an NDA to be able to access the pilot data and do some additional diligence, which might lead to another meeting. And I think that was really the high point of the presentation. The part that I missed as a potential investor, and this is maybe just a comment in terms of not assuming that the potential investors are as knowledgeable as you are in the area. I really didn't know whose cars you're driving. Are they your cars? Are they a shared car? Who's driving? Are there driver qualifications? Do you have to have a license? Do you have to pass a test? Or does the company monitor that at all? So when you're selling this business to business, so you're going from split to DTE, DTE's got to have some sense that this is safe for their employees and healthy in all aspects. So one question is, are you providing the car to the driver, that I heard Uber, or are these employees sharing their cars and kind of carpooling within their vehicles?
That's a very good question. I can take this one. So,
okay.
It is in fact the employees themselves who use their own vehicles to get there.
Okay.
So the idea is, if we're both getting to the same work location, why don't you just hop into my car and I'll hop into yours, and then we go to the same location?
Okay.
That's the main idea of it. So as compared to other things with like car rentals, that's a separate different car. We take the I guess administration out of it by mainly just providing a platform where it's easy for users to find other people to find riders.
Great. And just a quick follow on that, I get how that benefits the company and the mega benefit to carbon footprint and congestion and all of those things. But what are the incentives to the employees? Do they get paid? Do you do it? One person does it one day, we rotate, help you with just, how does it make sense for you?
Typically think of your next best option. If you didn't have a car, you'd be Ubering to work, you'd be paying tax and whatever you pay on the Uber for. This way, when the driver is set up through the app and they go pick up their coworkers, if we're just in the first phase, the payment between the two coworkers to split the ride itself can be decided by the company how they want to do that. So they can either add it to the paycheck or have the two employees transfer money directly, in which case you can't tax that.
Does the company get involved, or they purposely stay?
They decide the way that it's done. So the way that all the features of the application are built in is that they're all available to the company from the beginning. They're all built in, and they can select how they want to operate and how they want to customize it. So it's extremely flexible in that manner.
Yeah, I think you guys did a great job with the presentation. And I think a big highlight was definitely that you have a number of companies piloting, especially the DTE. And I would have loved to see more data on that, whatever you're comfortable sharing. Just highlights you mentioned 10% or 20% of employees that presented the option signed up. And I'd love to hear how many are still active. And then I don't think I saw a revenue model. How much is a company like DTE or are they paying on a per employee basis? How do you guys make money?
I can talk a bit about the pricing plan. So for our B2B model, we say that we charge a flat tiered subscription plan. So it's flat because it really incentivizes the company, and we charge by tiered by employee counts. So it's flat because it really incentivizes the company to motivate their employees to actually sign on to this service, because it reduces their marginal cost. And it's also tiered because we can stagger our pricing depending on how many potential users in the system.
Can you talk a little bit about just the shift going from B2B and then making that shift from future to B2C, and why you think that that's the right approach, and a little bit about how that transition would work because B2C is just like all consumers, or do you have to have your business doing overseas outside of work hours, or what the thought is there?
So by having a B2B first, we are able to gathering more of a critical mass before we're launching a B2C, and that's one of the main benefits. We can see that in this B2B model, by signing up multiple companies, you get this critical mass much faster, and you're able to launch a B2C, have it not be directly related to the companies, but that's one of the benefits, I think, is that by having it B2B first, you get a lot greater of a pool to draw from.
And also in the future, we have the multi-mobility solution, so potentially that features B2C, peer-to-peer car rental, and to better use the resources out there as the futures.
Did you say earlier that the company actually reimburse one employees who provide sharing through your platform?
It's not necessarily through the platform, but they can decide whether or not they want to pay them through the paycheck. So if you have someone who's been driving for a week and you have that set benefit, like I said, the incentives are all built in by the company. I know that was a question that was asked earlier. So they'll vary a little bit, but more or less that driver is going to be receiving cuts for the gas, their mileage, and depreciation on their car.
So that's a nice value add that we nice to know about earlier, but it sounds like a major obvious.